Hey guys, I'm Alex from thetechnoclass.com, and check it out, it's the Google Nexus 7, and if you look at the box, it actually makes a 7 with that edge of the corner there. And this is the first unboxing the video from the Philippines of the Nexus 7, and this isn't actually released in the Philippines just yet, but this is the newest Nexus device from Google, and it is a beauty if you ask me. So it's a 7-inch tablet, and there you have it. Let's boot it up. And it is the first device in the world. So we have a bunch of firsts today. We have a first video unboxing from the Philippines, and the first tablet or device that actually comes preloaded with Android 4.1 Jelly Bean. So first. And inside the box here, we have a first USB cable and a first quick start guide, a first warranty guide, warranty booklet, and a first power adapter. That's how many firsts we have right now. Alright guys, so this is the first, and by that we mean first. Did we mention this is first? Unboxing, Philippine unboxing of the Google Nexus 7, and as you can see at the back, there's a Nexus logo there. A nice Google texture there. Alright, at the bottom here, you'll see that there's an Asus logo, because this device is actually made by Asus, which is the OEM for the Google Nexus 7, and we congratulate them for making a really good looking device. The speaker button is over here on the bottom. And that's it basically for the back. There is no camera on the back because we don't want people taking pictures of tablets, and B, they're trying to make the tablet a little bit cheaper because this is only $199. So if you do the math, that's about 8,000 something bucks. Of course, that might not be the price when it comes into the Philippines, but hopefully it's about as cheap. I mean, at 10,000 bucks, it's still cheaper than a bunch of A pads out there, China pads. Anyway, let's get to the front here. The front is dominated by the 7-inch, we'll show you what it looks like here, 7-inch IPS LCD display at a resolution of 1280 by 800, so that's HD resolution. A little bit taller than complete widescreen 16 by 9, but that's why it's 800, not 720. 1.2 megapixel camera in the front here, and I believe there are light sensors there so that it will determine how bright the screen has to go. So there are no buttons here on the front, just the screen and the front-facing camera. On the top here, there's nothing. I think that there's a ambient microphone there. And on the right side, there's a power and unlock button and a volume rocker. So on the bottom is a 3.5mm headset jack, a micro USB charging port, and that's it. On this side, as you can see, there's a dock connector. And I guess that's another ambient light thing. And that's it for the sides. And so that's basically all the stuff in and around the anatomy of a Nexus 7, and it makes it a pretty simple device. And there's a nice silvery strip around, as you can see here, that gives it a little bit of a bling to make it look interesting. Alright, so if we take a look at the interface here, this is the Android 4.1 Jelly Bean, and it's the newest and the fastest version of Google's Android OS so far. And as you can see, it looks a little bit like an ice cream sandwich, except in a slightly like a mixed tablet, mixed smartphone form, because this is a 7-inch tablet. And as you can see, it's not oriented in landscape mode most of the time. It's oriented in typical portrait smartphone mode. And instead of the apps button over here on the top right, it's over here where similar to the Android phone version. As you can see, you can also do the app launcher here is the same as the ice cream sandwich one. The slide like this, and the widgets come afterwards, and there you go. There's a bunch of other features here that you might not be noticing, but it's actually incredibly smooth now because it's got Project Butter. And I just launched Google Now there. That's I'm just giving you a sneak peek of what we'll be looking at later. And so basically it's a very fluid version of ice cream sandwich. And this display is an IPS LCD, so it's supposedly got some good colors in there and great viewing angles, as you can see here. So there you go. It's almost 108, a 90-degree angle, and you can still see the right colors. Although our friend that loaned us this unit is not is more used to the AMOLED extreme poppiness of the color. As you can see here, the screen isn't extremely saturated, but it still looks great, especially the viewing angles here and there. So let's give you a quick tour of Jelly Bean here. Now it looks pretty similar to Ice Cream Sandwich, and as you can see, home screen's like this, and there's your home button, there's your back button, there's your previous apps button, there's your app launcher button, and if you want to add widgets, of course you just pick one of these. You just of course the new version of Jelly Bean is magically will magically move the widgets all around you and then resize them if you have to, if it has to make your new widget fit onto the home screen you're putting it in. So for example, I have two clocks, and as you can see, the first clock was trying to move away, and if you want to delete this, you just hold it, and then you don't have to drag it, just flick it out. Did you see that? You just flick it away. Oh, sorry. You just flick it away, it goes away. The one new thing is the new notification bar. If you drag down here, you'll see that it's a slightly updated notification bar, but it looks normal, right? But check it out here. So if I drag two fingers from this email that I got, you'll notice that you can actually get more detail on your email here, and it gives you more ambient information. If you don't want it, you just swipe it back up, and you can also make it go away. Of course, that's an old feature, but the new feature is dragging it down. Of course, some apps like Facebook and a bunch of other apps are not updated to this new version yet, so they can't do the extended notification bar just yet, but it'll be there, so look forward to that. In terms of another feature here, of course, Project Butter makes the interface extremely fast. Even if you're installing and updating your files, it will not lag. So, also the 1.3 gigahertz quad-core processor is helping that a lot. So there are two versions of this tablet here, and the first version is the 8 gigabyte version, which sells for $199, which is about 8,000 plus bucks. This version that we have here is the 16 gig version, which is selling for 249 US dollars, which probably puts it in about 10,000 pesos or so. Of course, it might not be the price that we'll get if or when Asus brings this to the Philippines, or maybe even Google. But those are the most optimistic prices, and so for 8,000 bucks, 12,000 bucks, that is very cheap. So one big feature that is part of Google's Android 4.1 OS is Google Now. Now, if you lock the phone and go to the lock screen, and you'll see that there's a Google icon up there. You can go there, and then it'll launch Google Now. But you can also do this from anywhere you are. You just swipe up, and Google Now shows up. Google Now is basically an ambient information monster. So everything that you're doing, all the weather stuff, all the traffic stuff that you need to know is given to you by Google Now, based on what you're searching, based on what your calendar is, based on whatever. So right now I have a Megadeth concert right here. So as you can see, it tells me I have one, and then I press that, and it, of course, the Megadeth concert is based from my calendar. So I just launch Maps from there, and it searched for World Trade Center, and I press World Trade Center, and gives me information for that. So that's basically what the helpful functions of a Google Now app Google Now does. Obviously, you can see here it gives me the weather ambient information. And obviously, you can just start searching from here by just saying the keyword there, but you have to stop talking first, because it listens to ambient sounds, and it thinks that I'm talking to somebody right now, so I can't actually activate it. So I'm going to stop talking for a second and activate it. Google, directions to Starbucks.
Getting directions.
So the best part about that is that you can search by just using your voice, and that was very quick, and there wasn't even any lag. Those animations were super smooth, and that was awesome. The other part is that whatever I'm talking about here, so if I say Google Nexus 7, it doesn't activate, because it detects if you're talking. or you want something to search. So for example, I just wait another second. Google. There you go. Come on, that is just awesome, right? So there's some cards here to tell you ambient information. There are other cards there, traffic and other stuff like that, which will fill up as much as possible, as much information that you give it. So that's another awesome feature from the Nexus 7 here. Now, of course, the Google Nexus 7 also plays a bunch of games, and this being a quad-core 1.3 gigahertz processor, you will not need anything faster. And the size is pretty good, and you might notice that the graphics are really nice and smooth, and the sound is pretty good. It is a little, the speaker is a little weak, but it's not bad. For personal consumption, you're definitely not going to need anything else. But if you're if you want to play music for your whole group, you might have some trouble there. Alright, so this is another app that everybody needs to know if it works on the Google Nexus 7, and obviously it does. And it does it so awesomely. So look at that, it's super smooth right now. I don't know if it's seeing this because the camera only takes video up to 30 frames per second, but this thing is very smooth. I don't see any frame rate drops, and I can play around with it. The G sensor works fine, and this is probably one of the best versions of Temple Run that I've ever played on any smartphone or tablet right now. Probably barring some iOS devices. I don't know. I haven't actually played it that much on iOS devices. But yeah, if you want to play, if you're looking forward to playing Temple Run, this is an HD version of Temple Run that you will probably want to really play. So there you go. Alright, so we're taking a look at Dead Trigger here, and this is the game that basically launched the Nexus 7, because this is the game they demoed to promote the power of the Google Nexus 7. As you can see, the graphics are really nice here, and as you can see, there's some water particles, there's some stuff flying in the air here, there's some smoke up there, and there's some, like, I don't know, some dust in the air. The water effects is great. You can even shoot the water. You can zoom in with the gun, and as you can see, it is very graphically intensive. So you can actually game pretty well on this, because your thumbs aren't like touching each other. It's large enough for the screen, and yeah, it looks pretty damn good. That sounds like the guy from Shadowgun. Alright guys, so that's basically it for what I can show you about the Nexus 7. It's just, what I can really tell you is that it's incredibly smooth and it's incredibly fast, and it hasn't given me any major hassles in loading. Installing apps was butter, and you can actually, the notification bar is amazing. Yeah, some people will find issue with the fact that it doesn't have an SD card slot for expandable storage, nor does it have a rear-facing camera. Now, that is the trade-off that you will have to do for a device to cost so cheaply. And of course, a 16 gig version is probably not the small by any means, unless you keep a lot of music, which Google will probably tell you to put it in the cloud anyway. So basically, the Google Nexus 7 is a very impressive tablet, and one of the most impressive ones most ones I would recommend straight off the bat. If you can get one for maybe 12,000, the 16 gig one for 12,000, or maybe 10,000 or so for the 8 gig one, man, don't even hesitate to get one. And it's super fast. Asus did a really good job here. Alright guys, so that is the Google Nexus 7 tablet made by Asus, and hopefully Asus brings it into the Philippines, because we desperately want one. I'd like to thank my friend Johan for hooking us up with the Nexus 7 for borrow. He just lent it to us, so we have to bring it back to him later. But we really like it, and we'll have a review for you soon. And yeah, I'm Alex from thetechnoclass.com. This is the Google Nexus 7 tablet made by Asus. Thanks for watching.